For most YouTubers, our phone is a form of constant distraction and stimulation. But you can be different, because the phone setup that I've been perfecting for years has earned me back hours of my time. And today, I'm going to show you the top 3 most important aspects of this setup that have allowed me to 3x my production efficiency and reduce my screen time by over 120%, including the golden rule that any content creator can use to eliminate damn near any distraction that they'll face, without boatloads of discipline. I'm James, and after battling with my own productivity for years, I found some tactics that have transformed the efficiency of my video production workflow, and I'm here to help other YouTubers do the same. Imagine you're on a diet, a ketogenic one, and you're walking down the street, but not just any street, one lined with candy stores. Their doors are opening as you pass by, wafting sweet and succulent aromas right into your face. And I'm sure we'd all just go have a quick look if the temptation's right there. Well, our phones have a sneaky setting enabled by default, raise to wake, that automatically turns on the phone as you pick it up. And it's creating distractions through subconscious human psychology. Just like with the candy store, when the bright and stimulating phone screen is activated right before our eyes, it's so easy to just have a look. But eventually that minute turns into half an hour. And suddenly your morning, when you were supposed to write a whole video script, has just evolved into scrolling and procrastination. So the first thing you need to do to ensure better productivity is to turn raise to wake off. And just by doing that, you've taken natural human psychology and flipped it to work in your favor. Our phones are designed to hijack our reflexes. When you pick it up, bang, you're scrolling social media. Making just that little bit harder to turn the phone on simply blocks the habit that was the nexus event for all your mindless phone use. Turning off raise to wake forces you to make a conscious decision to tap that screen, and allows your rational brain to get into the driver's seat, where automatic impulses would have usually taken over. And where does that lead? It means that not only are you training your brain to stop and think before submitting to instant gratification, but also denying it the chance to do anything but the work that you set out to do. And this next level of productivity phone setup honestly pissed me off for a long time. But after I saw the productivity benefits it netted, it all became worth it. But before we get to what that is, I want to play a quick game of Who Wants to Be Addicted Air. So how it works, I'll show you pairs of blurred out logos from social media companies, and I want you to guess what each one is. Here's the first one. Next round. And now the final round. Yeah, there's no way you're getting this one. I'll even give you a hint. As I reveal the answers, I want to know if you notice something as I progress the rounds. First round was really a warm-up, but if we look at the second and third rounds, you'll notice that I did something to the logos. As the rounds progressed, I gradually desaturated the images. And as I did, I'm sure it took just that little bit longer to guess what the company was. That's because colors are psychologically stimulating. When app developers create their interfaces, they purposely optimize them for vibrancy and aesthetics. Because on its own, that creates another avenue of potential dopamine triggers. So the next level of our phone setup is chosen accordingly to counteract this. You have to turn your phone to grayscale. As YouTubers, we all know that having well-colored and visually harmonic thumbnails are a super important part of getting the viewers to click. So doing the opposite and turning that visual harmony into one dull color naturally makes the app less enticing and distracting. As their charm fades, your temptation to use them will eventually do the same. It's a weird feeling to begin with, but eventually you'll be delighted at how fast your focus is returning to you and how efficiently you can create videos with this tactic in play. But the effects of that are minimal compared to what I consider to be the best single thing that any YouTuber can do to reduce the effect of their phone on their work. And it all starts with your home screen. More specifically, a way of organizing that blocks your ability to interact with the dangerous apps, which proved to be the main catalyst for my reduction in screen time over the last months. Here's how it works. Remove unnecessary apps from your home screen entirely. You don't need YouTube on your phone. Get it out of here. TikTok? I hope you're not serious. Step 2. Create a separate folder for what I call the inbox apps, which you receive messages or mail from. These are your Snapchats, your Instagrams, your Outlooks. You can select a certain time of day to check these that don't coincide with your work. Step 3, and this is the most important, clear everything on the first page of your homepage and your dock of everything except essential, daily use apps only. Things like journals, exercise trackers, calendars, productivity pages. On my screen, I have my personal task center on Notion, a link to Duolingo, an emergency services app, and my exercise tracker. The idea behind it is that you're only met with the bare essential when you first open your phone. This not only eliminates the visual cues you may receive for distraction-ridden apps, it makes it even harder to access them, forcing you to move out of that mental space of impulse. And that's where real work without distraction actually happens. And your video production will only increase as a result. I don't know if you realize, there's been an incredibly prevalent theme woven into all these aspects of the phone setup. And with this in mind, you'll not only be able to get rid of phone-based distractions, but almost every other type as well. Well, here it is. Most people use their phones completely habitually. They get up, they navigate their home screen, and they find Instagram within 0.2 seconds. And they can't even remember how they opened the app. If this is you, it's super easy to go off and blame this on your discipline, but that's simply not the case. This technology is designed in a way that exploits human psychology and attention and makes it easy to access that dopamine hit. And there it is. The key to reducing any distraction is to avoid mindless use. Because when you decrease that reward and incentive to do the activity in the first place, you've just taken a situation where the app company are re-engineering your attention to fulfill their profit-seeking motives and redirected it in a way that's actually conducive to being more focused, more productive, more efficient, and more clear in anything to do with your video production. And it's all well and good to have a fancy setup like this to avoid yourself getting distracted, but it's all gonna go to waste unless you watch this video, which will reveal the super common myth about being more disciplined that you're probably falling prey to.